right, let's check the fit on the other side. Are you guys ready for the show? Don't worry, I'll be back a few more times during this video. It doesn't fit. Doesn't fucking fit. This is actually my second pair of these sandwich J-cups from Titan Fitness. As you can tell from the intro, the first pair didn't fit. But I have to give Titan some credit. They were nice enough to replace them at no cost to me, and it only took about 20 emails, which is pretty accurate. Now, I had filmed pretty much the entire unboxing and overview, testing one side of these things, not realizing that the other side didn't make it. We're gonna use this comically large knife to open this up. Rule number one, don't cut towards yourself. So obviously that's what I'm doing. Apparently Titan has a warranty. I would have not thought that Titan had warranties. No offense to Titan. So here I am refilming the intro. If you're thinking, was it really worth all the heartache and headache? Well, when it comes to a 2x3 rack, there's really no other option, though I have been bullying 1211 Fitness, and they told me in July they're gonna have their own version, so I'm definitely gonna be checking those out. Now, I got these for a few reasons. People tend to hit my barbell on the lip here, and those things are pretty expensive, so I'm trying to avoid that. And also, I noticed that as we set up for bench and we roll the bar forward, we're actually physically grinding through the steel of these Rogue J-cups, so I'm trying to address that as well. Now, I know what some people are gonna say.
Well, you're trying to put a Titan product on a Rogue rack.
Okay, sure, but my Rogue rack looks a lot like my friend's T3.
Yeah, but Titan uses metric measurements and Rogue uses inches.
And I'm sure that guy's a lot of fun at parties, but we all know those things. And all my other Titan stuff fits, including my Titan Roller J-cups. So let's run the overview and move on. Me again. Now this is the original footage because the specs don't actually change. And you can tell because my spirit hasn't been broken yet. The first thing we'll look at is the powder coat. Now I own a lot of Titan accessories and I'm not particularly gentle with them. It's home gym equipment. It's gonna get beat up a little bit. And that powder coat tends to hold up pretty well. This is pretty clean. I don't see any nicks or blemishes or spots missing. So looks good to me. The next thing we'll look at is the welds. Though I always compare the welds to a Rogue weld. That's kind of the cream of the crop there. And Titan's not going to be quite that quality, though their welds have gotten better over the years, and these look pretty good, pretty clean. Most people will notice this pin weld right here. They go all the way around. The only difference between this and what Rogue's doing is Rogue will make it a little more aesthetic. They will fill in the middle, and then they'll grind it a little bit. Performance-wise, it doesn't really matter. It's along the edge that matters, and these have a massive capacity. We will test them and see how it holds up, but I don't think it's going to be a problem there. So how a sandwich J-cup works is you have 1 inch of UHMW plastic sandwiched between 3/8 inch steel plates, and they're bolted together somehow. So what I'm gonna do is I will pull this apart so you can see how these pins and everything works, because no offense to Titan, I say that in every video, I don't always trust them 100%, so I like to see what they're doing. So we'll pull this apart, look at the bolts. Now, because of this UHMW in these plates, they're typically not as wide as your normal 2-inch or whatever rack you have J-cup. Why that matters is if you have trouble racking and unracking things, sometimes if you bump it, you're gonna have a little less material to bump into. So that can be a good thing for some people. For dimensions, it's 10 inches by about 5.5 inches. The actual cradle where you rack it, that's gonna be almost identical. The only difference is going to be, because of this plastic that's gonna protect your bar, you lose maybe 1/4 inch in this flat cradle area. Now where the dimensions differ that might matter to you is in the height. Now, in reality, if you put them together, the amount of UHMW protecting this vertical area or whatever is exactly the same. But if you put the pins in at the same height, you'll notice that the cradle is at a vastly different height. So does it really matter? No, but if you're like us where you've marked out along your rack, your bench height, your squat rack height or whatever, it's not gonna line up anymore. So those might have to be changed. Now Titan does say on their site that there's UHMW plastic on all 3 contact points with your rack. I noticed there's not any right here. It's not the end of the world. I'll just put some UHMW tape there, and that's just to keep it from marring up my rack, which is what my normal Rogue Infinity cups do. Now, they are also left and right sided. So why does that matter? When you put them in, they're not going to be able to rotate left or right. It's going to give you a little more stability because they're always going to be countering each other. Now, we should actually see if these fit. So the pin on this one fits. It's a little tight. So it's not the end of the world. Again, I'm cutting down probably more than half of the cost. So if I care, and I do care a little bit, I'll just pop these 2 bolts off right here. And maybe sand the back the tiniest bit to make it a little looser. You know, if I'm paying $200, I don't want to do that. But for $80 shipped, I'll forgive him this one time. You think he's still gonna forgive him after he tests that other side? All right, let's check the fit on the other side. It doesn't fit. Doesn't fucking fit. Are you kidding me? You know how much shit I've bought from this company? Oh, what's in there? Guess we're gonna see what their return replacement policy's like. The problem with the pair I exchanged was that one pin was larger than the other. Now this new pair does fit, though it's a bit tight. And I can appreciate a tight hole as much as the next guy, but this pole does not comfortably fit in these cheeks. So I'm gonna have to remove this back part of UHMW plastic and sand it down a little bit. And I'm fine with that. That's the price we pay for some of that Titan budget equipment. Now I've already used these for a squat session and a couple of workouts, but now we're gonna test them. So that's 585 pounds, and we could keep going like this, but let's instead be honest with a few points. One, I can't actually squat that kind of weight. I was just curling in the rack, and I needed to throw it on my back to get it back up here for the video. Speaking of which, this video was a huge pain in the ass, a lot of heartache, a lot of headache, and that is entirely your fault. So the least you could do is subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Gluck's Gym. 3, if you're putting up this kind of weight, go buy yourself some real sandwich J-cups. It's too late for me to say, no offense to Titan. I said that a few times in this video. It's not that they're terrible J-cups. I don't regret having them. I do regret the process I had to go through. They work. And if I had a Titan rack or no other option at $80 or so, they're not bad. They do have some manufacturing problems, obviously, and there's no protection on this underside, which a good sandwich J-cup like ones from Rep or Rogue would have, which, by the way, if you have another rack and you have another option, I would say go to those. If you don't, or you want to be like me, just use my affiliate link. I have no problem whatsoever getting a little bit of money out of Titan, though they'll probably take my status away at my current rate. Other than that, they're okay. They're not great. I don't wholeheartedly recommend them. It's up to you. I've hopefully made my thoughts clear. That's pretty much all I got for you guys. I'll see you next week. You guys ready for the show? That could come a little close, maybe.